Hello, everyone. It is me, Butterfly Spirit, aka Michelle, and also joining us today is
And one hero.
basically today I want to talk about a funeral that I attended this Saturday today. Um, so I attended a funeral service for my Aunt Mary, and it was it was held at a church and stuff like that. And honestly, I'm not gonna start with the church service. I want to basically talk about my Aunt Mary, who she was to me, memories that I have of her and stuff. So basically, my Aunt Mary, when I was a kid, she was always the person who, whose house that everybody came over all the time. Every time I remember as a kid coming over my Mary's house, you know, everybody was always there. Everybody was together, gathered there for, barbecues and stuff like that or whatever. And, I would say some of my most fondest memories was at my Aunt Mary's house. A lot of times I'd be at her house, watching cable TV. I'd be watching like, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network and stuff like that or whatever. And I would be, there with, my cousin. Um, her name, is I call her, in the family we call her Nene, but her name is actually Pamela. But everybody got a nickname or something. Me, I don't really think I really got one, but everybody just called me Michelle. But me and my cousin, Nene, we would, be over there and we'd be enjoying, being over there. I mean, in my Aunt Mary's house, like, you know, like we would just basically enjoy, we would enjoy just being kids. It was always less like comfortable being there. You know, I remember the couches she used to have. She said it's like this tan. I think it's like a couch or something, and then like this one that's like a chair or something like that. I'm not really good with describing furniture, but she had those two in the living room. And then she had her dining table and stuff, or whatever. That dining table she always kept covered and stuff like that. And like to this day, that table is still it still looks beautiful in good condition, even though it's been through uh, decades of use and stuff like that. That table was always lined with food, especially one of the most amazing foods that I remember is what happens to be a dessert is the pineapple cream cheesecake that was always on the table for like Thanksgiving or barbecues or whatever. It was always, one of the signature, desserts that I always looked forward to. And I didn't know that my grandma actually was the one who used to make it. And then, people in my family were taught how to make it, like my sister and, my cousins and stuff. And that was a really beautiful thing that I enjoyed a lot is really seeing that, seeing that cake. And also there's other things too on the table. I mean, you know, there's always gonna be barbecue, there's always gonna be the green beans. There's gonna definitely be greens. It's gonna be the mustard greens. Always gonna be, it takes a long time to cook them, So, I always look forward to greens, the potato salad, the deviled eggs, you know what I'm saying? Never Thanksgiving, you got your turkey, you know what I'm saying? Sweet potatoes, you know. Um, and I would say at Mount Mary's house, it was always good energy, that type of energy where you're happy and stuff like that. It was always that, you know. Um, it was really a place that I enjoyed really spending a lot of time. I look back on those years as being a kid, and when I'll be at my Aunt Mary's house, I look at it as being a happy time, a happier time than the times we now live in, you know. Um, and it was great. If I, needed anything, my Aunt Mary was always there to give, you know, and sometimes it's giving advice, and sometimes it is just, being there, for whatever. Now, sometimes my Aunt Mary, she did give me money sometimes, um, and it was more so towards when I was like an adult and stuff. But, I still remember the days when I was at her house and when I like, we'd be told to shut the door to keep the air conditioning in and stuff like that when it's running air conditioning, because it was expensive. As a kid, I didn't know. I always told to close the screen door that she had too. You know, but I always remember, when I was at my Aunt Mary's house, sitting there, on the porch, you know, like it was always a good place to be, you know, especially you know, when it was summertime and stuff like that, and the bum pop truck would come or whatever, or what people say, ice cream truck, would come and everything, and we get some. When it come, all the kids run outside. Y'all ran outside to go get something, and I think my Aunt Mary, she would always get she always get. She'd always there was. I'm thinking that she'd get that For some reason, I'm thinking about a red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, they're like American Pop, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it might have been that or whatever. And she'd always get that. I know as a kid they had the Bugs Bunny things too that it was kids got with the eyes that was like bubble gum and stuff like that.
And the Spider-Man and SpongeBob and all that.
Yeah, and stuff. And that's one of the signature things that at her house the bump pop truck or the ice cream truck would come and stuff and would be right in front of her house and stuff, and we'd be all ordering stuff and getting stuff or whatever, And something I really miss in the past was the fact that in my family, everybody used to get together. We all used to get together at my Aunt Mary's house and stuff. We always did. And, sadly now, we do not get together. I mean, today we all got together because of a funeral from Aunt Mary, but, otherwise, people really don't get together. The last time, major time, I remember everybody really getting together. Let's see, most major time would have been like the whole family. Let's see, it would have probably been my cousin Mark's wedding. Was when everybody was kind of there. And then my cousin Janine, she passed. And people was at her funeral and stuff. But I would say when the whole family was together was at my cousin Mark's wedding and stuff. And we took a picture and everything and stuff, and everybody was together and stuff. And that's when when we was all together and stuff. Going backwards, when everybody stopped getting together, and I started noticing this, was basically it happened right around. Everybody stopped right after my grandma, Geneva Parker, or what she went by, Mother. That was her, name that everybody called her because she was like a mother. Everybody basically stopped getting together after she passed. But my Aunt Mary wanted to try to continue to bring people together. So she would still throw events and stuff like that to get everybody together because she started to see people, kind of drift and go their own ways and stuff like that. What I would say that I'm guilty of is not really spending a lot of time with my Aunt Mary. When I was a kid, more so I did, and I came over her house more so when I was like a kid and teenager and stuff like that. But as an adult, I didn't really, come around, especially when I was in college and stuff, because I'm in college and I'm a full-time student and stuff, and I'm basically, trying to figure stuff out, figure out adulthood and stuff like that or whatever. And so I would say one thing is that, I wish I would have spent more time, and I would have realized that, going to college, although people said it was beneficial, it really wasn't, because when I graduated, I found out that basically what they told me was lies. You know, it was basically, hell, was nothing but lies that I was told about how you get a college degree and then you're gonna be, you know, successful and things like that. That really did not happen. I saw it happen more so for, you know, for the white kids, the Asian kids, kids from like the Middle East and other types of kids than it was for me, you know. Um, and you know, I had to realize that the degree, I worked my ass off. I stayed up nights doing projects, tests, everything, thinking that if I put myself into this, it's going to do something in it, and it really didn't. And so, you know, I've had to learn, um, basically, that I was tricked in terms of college and stuff, and what it was going to do, and they still continue to trick you when they go to college. Um, I'm trying to think. With my, you know, with my Aunt Mary, I would say I've seen her, you know, like she's always the person that you can go to, you know, and talk to. She's not going to judge you or anything like that. She's always your support, the person that is going to listen. You know what I'm saying? She'll give you, you know, whatever it is you need, she'll give, you know, to help you and stuff. And you know, just to for her not to be here and, you know, be amongst, you know, a lot of us in her family and even other people who were not even part of the family, just were friends and stuff like that. It is strange. It is unusual. Um, and I think that, you know, it is a tremendous loss not to have somebody like her around, you know. And I think I think that, you know, like, I mean, I have this like this obituary of her or whatever. It's her obituary. I'm trying to make sure I can see. Ah, there you go. That's cute. So this is the obituary for her and stuff like that. And that we got and stuff like that. And
Hold it up closer.
so this is the obituary for her and stuff. Whatever. So this is her obituary. And that obituary, you know, when I look at it and see the smile that's on the obituary and stuff like that, what shines out to me mostly is how genuine my Aunt Mary was, how she was somebody who actually did things to help people, you know. And that's very rare. You know, you go out into the world now, people don't even want to speak, they don't even want to talk when you say hi. You know, people are so closed off. But, you know, somebody like my Aunt Mary, you know, who basically went through a whole lot of stuff. You know, I remember as a kid, I remember that she had her she had like both of her arms and stuff. She was still able to operate arms and stuff, but she had her I think it was something where I remember there was like talk about her having her leg amputated and stuff like that or whatever, because I guess it was something with her foot or something where it was not healing or something was going on with it, and so she had her leg amputated. So I remember that my Aunt Mary would, even though she had like one leg and then she had the half a leg and stuff, you know, she would still make the effort to go out and do stuff. She had her crutches and stuff. She used the crutches and stuff, and she was take the crutches down the porch steps, and she, you know what? She'd get in the car, and I went with her several times to go with her and stuff, and she had this white Cadillac and stuff. And we got in the car, and my Aunt Mary would drive with one foot. One foot. She'd have one foot. She still had her two arms and stuff, but she drove with that one foot, you know. And she was able to do it too, you know. And, you know, I was thinking, wow, you got, you know, one leg and you drive with one leg? You know, it's like, wow, you know. And, you know, those times as a kid when I, you know, be riding a car with her and stuff, I was happy doing that, and being with her and stuff. It was awesome. I remember a lot of the things like I was a kid. I remember looking at the kitchen, you know, because her kitchen was like green and stuff like that. I remember she had, a dog and stuff. Her dog Smokey and stuff like that. That would be in the back and stuff like that. I remember my aunt Mary she had rose bushes that was in front of her house and stuff like that. And she really liked roses. She loved roses and stuff. And she would cut some of those roses off her bushes she had too and stuff. And no matter what, my aunt Mary always was the person that she was very optimistic. She was never seemed troubled by anything, despite whatever was going on in her life, she was always happy, about things. You know, she always tried to be optimistic and somebody who, anybody could talk to and stuff like that. Even like friends of the family, like because my Mary had nieces and nephews and stuff like that or whatever, and their friends and would come over and stuff, and she even treated their friends like they were part of the family. She would say to like either my brother's friends or my cousin's friends or whatever, she told them that, if they was hungry, they can go get a plate. You know what I'm saying? If they was hungry, they can go get something. My Aunt Mary was always very respectful to her neighbors and stuff, the people that lived across the street, and stuff. Family lived right across the street and stuff. She was always real nice to her neighbors. You know what I'm saying? The people that lived right across, the people that lived like there was a house right here that was down there. She really knew the people that lived in the house like was like this way, kind of away from her house and stuff. She really knew them a lot, and they were really nice too, people and stuff, And I mean, I know I say a lot from childhood because that's when I had spent a lot of my time, Teenager, as a teenager, I still came around my Aunt Mary and stuff like that. I still did. I would watch her cook stuff. Of course, by this time, she didn't have her, the leg she had. Basically, she had the other one amputated or whatever. For whatever reason, I'm not really sure. So she didn't have at this time. She didn't, have any legs at this point. She just had to have a leg and stuff. And I remember as a teenager basically coming over to this other house she had. And when she came over her house, then what I would do is, I would come and see her and stuff. And, go in her room and stuff and say, "Hi, Mary, how you doing?" And stuff. And a lot of times she's in the kitchen. Sometimes she's in the living room, but most of the time she's in the kitchen. Most of the time she'd be cooking something. And she'd be cooking stuff, and her she had a stroke, so this arm was not, she couldn't operate this arm, so she had this arm right here, and she would be cooking stuff. She'd be cooking with basically one arm. She'd be washing the dishes, and doing stuff, and I'm like, how can you do that? And she just, no matter the fact that her body, was not, she had only limited resource on her body, she was still able to do stuff. Now I'll tell you one thing. When I come over, I didn't mind helping out if I could and stuff. I didn't mind doing that. Some things I would do for my Aunt Mary will be, since she only had this, this arm was average, so she had this on. I would help my Aunt Mary, get dressed. Help her put her clothes on. Help her bathe and stuff like that. And I didn't mind helping her do that or helping her with like sorting the clothes or anything or trying to find a jacket for her and stuff, or whatever I can do to be there and help and stuff like that. And I just think of those things as like, I don't think of the things I was doing as significant. I just thought of it as really helping out and stuff like that. One awesome thing about my Aunt Mary was that she kept pictures. She kept pictures of everybody in the family. Some of the people who had passed and stuff like that, and just whole lots of pictures. She had albums and albums and albums of pictures I was even in the album too, pictures of me and stuff like that, and her brothers and sisters and stuff like that, and pictures of my grandma and stuff like that, or whatever, you know. And you know, my Aunt Mary, you know, she liked to have pictures of memories, you know, of people doing different things. She had pictures of herself too when she was younger and stuff or whatever. Um, and just looking at those pictures, I was like, wow. Looking at the pictures, and I know a lot of the people in the pictures, but it was the fact that she captured those moments was something that I thought was significant and stuff, because people really don't keep picture albums anymore and stuff like that. People more on their phones now than they are, you know, um, about taking pictures. But I feel that pictures, like real pictures, make more of a difference, because you can save those. If you have pictures on your phone, those can get deleted or something like that, and then like they're gone, or pictures on social media, they can be erased, what I'm saying, by accident. If your account is hacked on Facebook or any social media, then the pictures are gone. um I mean, just thinking about my Aunt Mary, she's an amazing person. you know, she didn't worry about herself. She worried about other people. She was selfless, which is totally rare these days. There's a lot of people out for themselves, trying to one up other people, saying I'm better than this person, and stuff. But not her. Not my Mary. Now, one thing I'd say was funny is that she would go off on, it'd be funny when she goes off on people and stuff or whatever. It was so funny to hear her go off on people and stuff like that. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, people in my family, they know about seeing her do that, and how funny it is and stuff when she goes off and stuff, you know and how she would try to make people laugh and stuff like that, to try to lighten things up and stuff like that. I just think that, it's really wonderful that we all, like, people in my family, even other people that Mount Mary knew, have memories of her and stuff like that. I think that's the most wonderful thing about it. And, you know, I know the experience was real because, I ate her food, year after year and stuff like that, or whatever, and stuff. And I'll take you guys to a more, I'll take you to, like, let's say last year. So last year, my dad's family had they had a like a get together on my dad's side or whatever and stuff. My Aunt Mary is, on my mom's side. She's my mom's sister. And so I was at my dad's family's, like, I think it was like a New Year's celebration or whatever. And I called my Aunt Mary to see how she was doing. And she, got on the phone, and then she was telling me that she had a doctor's appointment. And I said, oh, okay. I said, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm all right. I said, okay. And, I seen that she kind of seemed like she was kind of had a little hesitation. But I was like, I'm sure things will be all right. And so, that was, I believe it was in January when I was on the phone with her, talking to her and stuff. And, I was, I didn't think at the time, that anything would happen to her or anything. Um, and then what I hear is, I hear, like, what was that? Like, some time had passed between the time I talked to her and stuff, because I'm working and trying to keep my life going and stuff like that, trying to uphold our household and everything. And then I found out that, my Aunt Mary, she's in the hospital. And I was like, what? Oh, what do you mean she's in the hospital? Why is she in the hospital? I was talking to her in January. She said she was going to doctor and stuff like that, and she seemed fine. She was a little nervous about going to doctor's appointment, but she was fine. Now I heard she's going to the hospital. And so it was like in March is when I found out that she was in the hospital and stuff, and I found out that she had surgery. And I was like, surgery? What is she doing having surgery? She went to a doctor. What, January, and surgery? What's going on? And some people in my family probably gonna say, oh, well, you should call, you should this and that. Well, just to say the least, um I really don't call people and reach out to people because I'm trying to uphold my life as an adult and, take care of what I got to take care of bills and everything that I got to do. No, I don't have kids, but, that ain't going to stop the electric company, the gas company, it's not going to stop the internet people and our rent people from wanting us to be working and doing stuff, plus I'm going to work and stuff. It's not going to stop them from calling us to find out when we going to pay this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I, wasn't really in touch with people. And one thing I feel like is that I'm not really too in touch with people in my family. Reason being is because, like, I see myself as if I'm doing good and taking care of myself and, as an adult, that's the better thing rather than calling them and them thinking that I can't handle something or do something, because as a kid, I was dependent. As an adult, I'm supposed to be independent, meaning I'm not supposed to go back and ask anybody. That's why I don't call my dad, every single solitary day. I don't call him every day because, I want him to know I can do it on my own. I'm an adult. I can do it. I can get this done. I can achieve goals and stuff. And that's what I can do, you know. So, that's why I really don't really reach out to people. A lot of people say, you should come around and stuff. Well, I wish I could, but I got a car that I got to keep, fixing on and taking care of and stuff like that. And I don't have a whole bunch of money, lying around. So I got to, when I got to, you know, repair my car, that's what I got to do. I got to take care of that because that's my transportation to and from work. And if I'm going to see anybody else, then yeah. That's what I gotta have. And nobody's gonna fix my car other than maybe my dad or the people who I take it to that I'm paying to do it. So, I can't I haven't been able to be around as much, And, I think I should be around people more, and stuff than I am. But, by and large, I'm just trying to handle things in life and do what I can. Um, I would say, so, I found out she's in the hospital in March and stuff like that. And I spoke with her. I spoke with my Aunt Mary. And after her surgery, I guess that she had it or whatever. Uh, and I got told, I called up to the hospital and stuff, and she told me, she said, and it's like the last time I really had a conversation with her, very short one. She just came out of surgery, and it was like nighttime when I called her. It was like 9 or something. It could be 9:30. Called her, and I said, called her and said, and I asked my Mary, I said, how are you doing? And she said, on the other side of the phone at the hospital and stuff, she said, oh, Michelle, I just feel like I've been cut in like 1,000 places and stuff like that, or whatever. And I'm like, huh? And, why is she being cut? What's going on? It sounds as though she was in pain, but she also had like, she was being medicated too and stuff like that too and stuff. And, she must have been in an immense amount of pain because she could feel the fact that they had done surgery or something like that. Now, the 1,000 places of them, feeling like they cut her in 1,000 places. I don't know why she would have to be cut in a lot of places if she's getting surgery, because you get surgery usually in one place. It's usually not in a million places. But from what she said, it's some truth to it because what she feels is valid. And so I told her, I said, I'm gonna come and see you tomorrow, or in a few days or something like that. And that's what I told her. And she said, oh, okay, and she got off the phone. Now, I didn't keep her on the phone a lot because I knew she needed her rest and stuff. So I hung up the phone, and stuff. And I was, I had, called up. I think I called back up to the hospital, found out where she was and the room she was in and stuff like that, so that when I came up there, then I would be able to go to the room and stuff. So a few days later, I go to the hospital. And I see my Aunt Mary and stuff like that, and she wasn't able to hold like a conversation with me. She seemed like she was there and she knew people was there and stuff. She did a lot of sleeping, and when you have surgery, you do a lot of sleeping and stuff. At one point, I would say I did see her like open her eyes and stuff like that. But we'll go in detail about that, about when she was responsive and stuff. We will talk about that here in a minute. But um, you know, what I will say is that I was very disheartened. But I did feel that, there was basically a slim chance that, there's it's a 50-50 chance, but I knew more likely the thing was that she was going to decide to pass on. And I kind of felt that she was going to. Um, but there was a slight chance that she might decide to live through it. But um, I knew it was really all up to her, But when I found out all the things that she went through, thanks to my cousin Pamela, everything my Aunt Mary went through, and stuff, then I understood that it was more of a likely chance that she was going to, she was going to let go and stuff like that and pass on, as opposed to continue to live and stuff. I could see, my Aunt Mary was I could see how she felt in her body when I looked at her in pictures and stuff. The people would post to Facebook that she was not happy. And I'm like, if how she feels, if she has pain that she's not able to deal with and stuff, and it's caused her this much or whatever is causing her to feel bad, most likely I assume was her body. I was like, well, I would not blame her if she wants to pass on. I really would not, because I can't begin to understand what she's going through and stuff. So, I mean, I know I talked like a lot about my memories and things that I think and stuff about her and everything and stuff, And the craziest thing is I still keep looking at this picture of her. I still keep looking at it, and the smile she has on her face and stuff. I still keep looking at it because the smile she has, this is the kind of person she is, and I just can't help but I can't really be, I was sad when I found out that, that she passed, but I know that somebody like her, I know that she's going to go to a good place. No, she's not going to go to hell. There's a lot of people think that she's going to go to hell because, she's not, didn't do this or do that or whatever they're thinking. But I know my Aunt Mary's going somewhere where she's going to be happy. Is it going to be heaven? Heaven, honestly, if you open the Bible, you'd find out that heaven is really just the sky. That's what heaven is. And in the Bible, they talk about when they refer to heaven and what heaven is, it's the sky. It's sky, it's space. That's what heaven is, and stuff. That's really what it is. Contrary to what other people might believe, it actually is. Because we look up, and it's up there. It's above us. The Bible even says what heaven is and where it is. But when you look up, you don't see any. You don't see any angels. When you look up, you don't see any cherubims, seraphims, or anything. You don't see that. You're supposed to see the kingdom of heaven, but according to then this great thing that they throw in church and say heaven is this going to be this and that or whatever, but we can't look up and see it. So I mean, one of the things I want to tell people is that Christianity has played a big role in Black people's lives. I used to, when I went over my Mary's house, she would have on the TV on Sundays. She'd have like the Christian shows where like they show church and stuff on Sunday and stuff like that or whatever and stuff, and the people praying and singing the music and stuff. And she'd have it on, But I know, even though she had it on deep down inside, she was asking why it was that she here she was in a wheelchair, both legs amputated. She had had a stroke. She only had one arm she can operate and use. And, I think she was really wanting, she's really wanting, some type of definitive proof, something to prove that, that this, that Jesus or this Christian God is going to do something. And, by the time you down the one arm and this Jesus has not showed up, or this Christian God has not shown up and stuff. I mean, my Aunt Mary's went through a whole bunch of stuff. I've been told she's gone through this disease, this cancer, the amputations and stuff, whole bunch of stuff. And no Jesus and no God showed up to heal her back to being healthy. She should still be walking around if there was a Jesus. The way they profess this stuff in these churches and stuff, try to get people to believe and make people believe that it's going to do something. But unfortunately, there is no Jesus. We know. I mean, I can give you an example. Here's a very real example. Here's something I'll do. Let's call out to Jesus and let's see what happens. Let's see if he shows up right here behind us. Okay, let me try it. All right, Jesus, if you real, show up right behind us on the video so everybody can see. See, pop in the video. So I'm away. I don't see him. There you go. There is no Jesus. Because if it was, I mean, he would have showed up, right? But there is no Jesus. This is the reason why my Aunt Mary went through what she did, and experienced the pain that she did, went through the amputations that she did, the diseases she did, because there is no Jesus. If there was, he would have showed up, right? There would have been angels and cherubim and seraphims. We would see this bright light come down, the whole thing. But we see no light. We see nothing. There is nothing. And, I know a lot of people have a lot of hope put into the church and thinking if they just pray, if they just give enough money, that it's going to do something. It's going to, it's going to make their life better. They're going to get a job. They're going to be able to save their house. They're not going to be homeless. They're going to be able to eat. They're going to be able to have, have the clothes that they need. They're going to be able to have their bills paid. They're going to be able to be happier. They're going to be able to live long and happy lives. But if you black, well, there's not a high possibility, because our people, black people, are constantly, it seems they're always appearing on the media. And when they're on the media, they're dead. They're on the ground. They have been shot by police who are going to say that, oh, well, we thought they had a weapon, or I fear for my life. Well, what about the person that died, the black person? They fear for their life, but, I guess the black person, I guess we know who lived. The police officer lived. The black person didn't live, So we know what our people, men, women, children, that are black, are being killed. And on the media, we're so desensitized to it that it's on newspapers. It's on the internet. You get footage of seeing that. Of our people, black people, being killed. One thing that was so disturbing, I was on my way to my Aunt Mary's, funeral. And as I was going down, I was going and driving through North St. Louis, and the thing is, I saw when I got off the highway, I saw that there was a sign that said something about burial insurance. Burial insurance? And then, then I'm seeing, all these funeral homes, these crematories and stuff like that everywhere. Like like death is a business, right? And then I see all these churches all over the place. But see, the thing in North St. Louis, and I lived in North St. Louis for a while. And there is, abandoned buildings in North St. Louis. So you got some people who do live in, they do live in houses and stuff, but the area is not safe. It's not safe because, the black people feel like they have to steal from each other. They have to kill each other and stuff to steal from each other to live and survive because they don't have no jobs. You know what I'm saying? And the jobs they do have is at a fast food place. It's pretty much fast food place, liquor store, gas station. Okay? Goes to them. There's not a lot of grocery stores. There was a Target over there where I lived in West Florissant. Used to be a Target there. Target's gone now. There's a Snooks that's there. But, where I stayed, street I stayed on, the store didn't used to be that far. But what happened was that the store had closed or whatever. And then it went further down the street. So, you have to get on the bus just to go to the store. And, you catch one bus. I catch one bus down the street. Then another bus going this way. It could take about, on a bus, it could take about 30 minutes for me to get to the store. Then get your stuff. Then I go. Then, my groceries. Take the groceries. Cross the street. Wait for the bus. Bus pick you up. You know what I'm saying? Got to get the groceries on the bus. Sit in the shirt or whatever. Bus take me back down. Got to stand at the corner, wait for the other bus. Go back up the street. And then, bus let me off. I go walk in the house with the groceries. Now, them groceries heavy for me, when I was doing it and stuff and having to go and stuff. And go to the store. But 30 minutes to go to the store, it's pretty excessive. Especially to get on the bus. Crazy, wasn't unusual for me to like get off of school, from high school and then have to go to the store, and whatever while my mom was at home and stuff. It wasn't unusual, I did it, did it million a day. Wasn't unusual at all, constantly going back and forth to the store on the bus. But I did what I had to do, what I'm saying? Make sure, me and my mom eat, So, yeah, but, I'm glad there was a store to go to, and stuff. But, just to think about the fact that the neighborhood I live in now, I live in a white neighborhood now. And in this neighborhood, I think it takes me about 15, like if I'm walking, it's like 15 minutes, about 15 minutes, and I walk to the store. There's a Shop and Saves there. There's all these restaurants around my neighborhood, and stuff. There's banks in my neighborhood. There's churches in my neighborhood and stuff like that. That's there and stuff. And there's that store. We got an Aldi that's here and stuff like that or whatever. That's available and stuff. And, we can actually get to the store. Like we're walking, we can actually get there, People walk their dogs. They feel safe and everything. When I lived in North St. Louis, didn't feel safe. Around here, I feel more safer here than I did there, North St. Louis, So, that explains why I moved to a white area, because in a white area, you have access to more stuff. Like I said, there's restaurants, shops, and different stuff like that that are there and stuff like that in my neighborhood, I got, there's more resources here, in this neighborhood than, say, what was available in North St. Louis. In North St. Louis, for people, since the store is further away and they have to get on the bus and stuff, then basically where they get their stuff is they get it from, there are stores, they get it from like a Family Dollar, or they get it from like a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree. That's where they get their groceries at. But they can't really go to like a Snooks like easily and get nothing. Snooks, like I said, it's 30 minutes on the bus. Like if you're driving a car, yeah, it's like probably like 10, 15 minutes to get there. But some of these people in North St. Louis don't even have a car, so a lot of people heavily use the bus and stuff like that. You got to pay to get on the bus, you know what I'm saying, just get your transfer, you know what I'm saying, and get there and back and stuff, you know. So, it's a difference between, living in a black neighborhood and living in a white neighborhood. Living in a white neighborhood, you got more advantages. Black neighborhood, you don't really don't. I mean, let's be honest. Let's seriously be honest. White neighborhood, got more. Black neighborhood, you got minimal. On the street I lived on when I was in North St. Louis, when I was with my mom, down there's a house right here, and then the next, it's like an apartment building that's there and stuff. That's vacant. It's condemned. It's an abandoned place that's there. It did not used to be like that, but that's there. There's a lot of houses that have been, abandoned or vacant or something like that, have been condemned. A lot of houses have not been fixed up. There's trash in the streets and everything like that. People's cars can get stolen. You know what I'm saying? You fear walking around in that neighborhood. Like when I was in Los Angeles, you fear walking around and stuff. Or whatever, yeah, it's a lot. But, I'm just sharing and talking about, I guess, just to give you some perspective, But I'm going to turn it back over. I'm going to switch the conversation, and we're going to talk about, and I know I've been talking for a minute, but I'm going to switch the conversation and talk about, my Aunt Mary and her funeral and stuff, because I know I spent a lot of time talking about that, but we're gonna switch to the other half, and I'm gonna talk about her funeral and stuff, and what we thought about her funeral, because now he'll get a chance to talk, because I've been talking for like a long time. So me and Aon, we got to the funeral a few minutes late, because we had to stop off at the bank and stuff, so we got there about 11:20. Service started at 11, but people were still walking in. We was walking in. Walked in and stuff, and it was like a hallway or something like that, or something type of place in that particular church and stuff. The main church was in like another room or something. Sanctuary is another room.
The Presbyterian.
Yeah, it was a Presbyterian church where the funeral was held at and stuff.
It was attached to a preschool.
It was attached to a preschool
or something.
So it's like a preschool, and then it was like the church or whatever and stuff. So
like called Third Church.
Yeah, it was called Third Church. So no, it's Third Presbyterian Church.
Oh, okay.
Third Presbyterian. I thought it was called Third Church, but it's actually called Third Presbyterian Church. And that's what it's actually called, So we get to the funeral. We used the bathroom before we went in and stuff. Now, when I went to the restroom before I went in, I found right immediately when I walked into the bathroom and stuff, at first when I walked in, it's crazy. There was nothing on the sink area. There was nothing like there. I saw my cousin Marmina went up in the bathroom and stuff, and I said hi to her and I gave her a hug and stuff. And I went to the bathroom and she left. All right, and then right when I walked out the bathroom, right there at the where the sink was, this obituary, Aunt Mary, it was laying right there where I was going to come to wash my hands at. Wasn't there when I first walked in the bathroom, but somehow it appeared there. Some of y'all going to speculate and say, oh, well, maybe somebody put it down, but there was nothing there. When I turned around, like when I was going to the bathroom, there was nothing there. There was nothing left, But this popped up. Right when I was, right when I came out the bathroom and stuff, it was sitting right there, up there, And I was like, wow, that's why I was telling you that I was like, I don't know how this was just appeared in the bathroom, and stuff. So, get out the bathroom and sat outside waiting for my fiance, here. And something pretty interesting happened when we went into the church service. So Where we caught it at was we came in and there's so many people up at the front and stuff that we had to sit in the back. And I'll let Anwan share what he saw when he first came into the funeral and share his thoughts. Then we're going to kind of go back and forth, I guess, here and talk about it.
When we first came in,
Yeah, go ahead and talk about when we first came in, like, into the funeral.
well, when we first came into the funeral, it was definitely filled. We sat all the way in the back. A guy instructed us to sit in the back. He was an usher. And her brother was talking. And
My Aunt Mary's brother, by the way.
Yeah,
My
I'm
uncle.
sorry. Her uncle, her Aunt Mary's brother was talking. And since I am a brother, the oldest brother of my sisters, of my sister, I was just really getting hit hard with the sadness, And she kept asking me, what's wrong, and I'm just like, I'm just really sad, and I'm really sorry, He was really trying hard.
Wait, hold on. Let me see something. I want to do this real quick. I'm going to